According to me, racism exists for a cause, and not because that racism is some sort of a good thing or some sort of a positive impact to the society, but in a way that racism does not actually define what it actually is. According to the textbook definition of racism, it actually means that you're discriminating people based on their color or ethnicity, right? That is a basic textbook definition of racism. But if we look at a lot of things that racism has led us on to, right? Like racism has led us on to discriminating people or making fun of them just based on their colors and doing evil deeds to them just based on their color. Because we do not like the concept of different things. We as people do not like the concept of different things, right? So, is it really valid for us to request the existence of a god if we are racist as humans and we want to know, like we as humans really want to know if god exists, right? But we do not want to know it, if that makes sense. Like we want to know if god exists, but in some way, even if we got to know somehow that god exists, we wouldn't be happy about it. We wouldn't be happy that god exists in reality, because racism defines this very keen concept of human nature, that humans don't like different things. Humans actually are a primal species, right? They want to feel familiar to the people around them. They want to fit in, if that's the thing that you're looking for. They do not want to feel as if that they are in a different society, different group of people, right? So we as people are like bound to be racist. If we are I'm quite a brown guy. I'm a brown guy, right? I'm an Asian guy. I'm an Indian guy. I'm brown. And in India, there are a lot of people with different skin colors, but their ethnicity remains the same, even if their skin color is like different from us, right? Like in India, there are various skin tones of people. There are people who are very fair. There are people who are very dark. There are people who are very wheatish or brownish. There are people who are actually like suffering from some sort of skin disease, right? But if we know their ethnicity, we won't treat them any different from anyone, right? If we know that they fall under the same category, we won't treat them any different. But let's say a foreigner of the same skin color as an Indian, let's say a Mexican, right? He came to India, and we somehow got to know that he's not in the same ethnicity as Indians. We would treat him very differently, even if he does not do anything. So, is it wrong for me to say that if God exists, we wouldn't want him to exist? We just want to know the reality of the world by God. We do not really care about the existence of God. And maybe that's why, even if he exists, I do not actually believe that he exists, but even if he exists, he won't do anything about it because he knows this keen truth that we as people do not want him to exist. We as people just want to know that he exists. I do not know if I'm making much sense here, but I feel I'm onto something, right? Like I had this random thought on 12 a.m. At 12 a.m. and I just wanted to record it, right? So we as people just do not want God to exist, even if he exists, right? So let's create a scenario where he exists, and we got to know that oh he exists, right? Like he comes to meet us, he is like greeting everybody and shit. There are people, right? Like there are people who will try to relate him. Like we as humans always want to relate things, right? Relate things to ourselves, to our past, to our future, so that we can actually feel connected to something. If you're watching a video of a guy explaining how to be rich and he is not the same skin color as you, and there's this like other person who's explaining how to be rich and he is the same color as you'll feel more relatable or familiar to the person who has the same ethnicity or skin color as you, just because you think that because like just because just because of familiarity has created this some sort of fake it onto your mind that if the same guy in your race or skin color has succeeded, you can too, even if he is completely wrong about it. Because we as humans just function like that. I mean, we could not we could not handle different skin colors. We couldn't handle this different skin colors, right? If even God existed, even mythical creatures existed, we wouldn't be able to tolerate it. We as humans just want to exist between humans. That's why maybe there's this thing called animal extinction, because we are seeing different animals every day. There are like millions of us who are intrigued by the existence of animals, but we do not want them to exist. The same thing that we think about God. There are millions and billions of people out there who are intrigued by the existence of God, but we do not want him to exist. Like, just think about it. Let's say there are religions for this reason, by the way. Humans just can pass down knowledge, right? Humans are able to pass down knowledge, but they are not able to pass down meaning. That's why religion exists, to actually provide with some sort of meaning for the upcoming generations, right? But as the generations are like passing up and like kind of evolving, we do not care about religions anymore. We are more like uh, we actually care about the present, if that's the word. Like, we care about the existence of present itself, and maybe that's God. We care about what can actually affect us at this particular moment. Can religion affect us at this particular moment? Then I am willing to believe in it. If it is not, then I cannot be bothered by it. That's because people are actually witnessing, people are actually witnessing themselves to be kind of embarrassed by this thing called religions. And everywhere we see a cult like following, it's like we seem to be like a kind of repelled of it, right? Like, we kind of think of it as a negative thing if you're not in that same cult. And that's why there are so many different gods. If there are not so many different gods and everybody is in particular like forming a particular group, then it could not we won't be able to survive, because there will be some cases where, like, look, we as humans, we have different fates, right? And if we have different fates, we'll have different results for everything that we wish for. And if we all followed one particular god, we will be like come down, like we will be cornered, like we will be cornered to a conclusion that God has a favorite child.